Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to askNK. Today we have some very interesting updates, a walkthrough. So the folks at Adobe have finally joined the Blender Development Fund as corporate gold members, and this is huge. Of course, a lot of people will say that Adobe is a little bit on the other side of the fence of what Blender is, but the folks at Adobe are saying that we are thrilled Adobe is joining the Blender Development Fund to ensure and also help the longevity and success of this dynamic open source community. Now, for those who would like to also take a look, you may want to go ahead to the link which I'm going to put in the description. That will bring you right here, where you can also see that Ton has also said that this is a great step forward, and it is prime example of the industry increasingly accepting to work with free and open source software. Now, for those who might also want to check out what category of the development fund that the folks at Adobe are actually funding Blender under, if you go over to fundofblender.org, you would also notice that they are within the corporate gold members, and that is exactly within the same space where we have the Tangent Lab, Ubisoft, Blender Market, Embark, and also the Intel software. Now, we've seen most of these companies within the corporate section, whether it's the corporate gold, the corporate silver, the corporate bronze, or even the patron. We've seen them not just donate stuff to the folks at Blender, but at the same time they've also found a way to bring in their own tools, bring in some add-ons, and also help make Blender better. And the folks at Adobe are also keeping up with that, as they've also gone through to release two new set of add-ons. The very first one is the Substance 3D add-on. Now, the Substance 3D add-on, or the Adobe Substance 3D add-on, is currently a public beta add-on that you can use, and this is very interesting to actually see. So what this does is actually enables those working with substance materials to work with substance materials directly in Blender, and this is to boycott all of the extra things that you have to go through, like baking maps, transferring these maps. Right now you can now bring in your .sb SAR files and work with them directly in Blender. So if there is any parameter that you would like to actually tweak, you can tweak those parameters to your liking, and at the same time you can also access the Substance 3D tab in your 3D viewer or within your shader editor. Now, this plugin automatically creates a set of textures from the materials and feeds them directly into the principal BDSDF, and this will definitely make it even way easier for those working with Blender to work alongside with Substance. Now, I don't know if this is more like a move to get those working with Blender to actually associate more with Substance, if this is also something that would convince a lot of people working with free apps like Quixel to actually jump ship and work with Substance. But either ways, it's a cool tool and I like the idea. Now, while we talk about the things that you can get, we're also going to do more like a demo of something else that they've released. So the folks at Adobe as well have also released the Mixamo add-on for Blender. So this one is this is very cool. I love this. Of course, there's a couple of bugs, and like in the askNK style, we're still going to talk about these things and look at them together. But then I've been playing with this for a while now, and it is nice. I mean, for anyone who would like to get this, you can simply go over to substance.adobe.com. link is going to be in the description, where you will be able to download this. And the beautiful thing about this is this works with basically everything. Although the demo which we have here is literally nothing to do with Blender, it is more like a Maya demo. But then we'll go in and talk about how you can get started with working with Blender alongside with this. So once you come over to this page, you can hit the download button and download it, and then go over to mixamo.com and you can sign up for free. There's one thing which I noticed within Mixamo: if you go over to customize, if you're someone like me that hate cookies and you hit don't enable, this doesn't work. Okay, so you just have to accept the cookies and move on, and then you need to log in. Now, once you log in, you need to select the characters which you like to work with. If you already created your characters previously, you can bring them in, or you can use from a truckload of characters that already exist. Select the animation if you like to add animations to this, and then you can proceed to preview this animation and then download it. Now, what we've done so far is we've downloaded our model, and we're going to use that model and take a look at how this add-on actually works. So with Blender simply open right here, what we have is the model that we downloaded, and of course you can see we have this model, a simple working character model, and this is lovely. So how do you throw in the Mixamo rig onto this model, and how does this work? So for you to get things happening, you need to go over to edit. Once you download the add-on, go over to preference, and within your preference you need to also go over to where you have your add-ons, hit the install button, and you install it. And once you do that, you will sure notice that you have a Mixamo rig here, and this is all you need. Now, once that is there, if you press N on your keyboard, you'll notice you have a Mixamo right here. So working with this is as easy as making sure that you have the character loaded into your scene, making sure that you have the add-on here. Click on this button and select the armature, which is the source skeleton for this model. So we're going to select that, and this is where the bugs starts coming in, and this is where you need to be a bit more careful on how you get to work with this. So the very first thing which you do once you select this object is to click on create control rig, and once you click on this button, I would suggest, I would plead with you, try to turn these ones off. Okay, try to turn them off. What happens once this is turned on is what I'm going to display on your screen right now. So this is what you get once these two are turned on. So for the love of God, right now this is something that would break your animation, so just simply turn them off, leave apply animation on, and click on OK. And even though you click on OK, there's a bug that you would notice, but you know, this is just a bug that does a simple trace back, but all the same, everything still looks nice. So if we send this all the way back, press the playback button, you would notice that we have a full-fledged control rig, and this is working with this model, and this is very, very beautiful. Now it actually becomes even more interesting when you like to bake animations. You can actually proceed to bake these animations. If you also want to apply these animations to the control rig, you can also go ahead and do that. Now in cases where you like to zero out the rig, where you can take out all of the animations and actually drop this in a T-pose, but we're going to talk about that one just in a bit. So once you have your motions ready, the next thing you can do is you can now go in and tweak this. And if you're someone like me that already have, you know, the animation layer on standby, you can go over to your animation layer, turn on your animation layer, throw this in, and at this point, let's say we'll like our character to have a motion like this. So at this point, we're just going to press I on the keyboard and make our location, rotation, and scale turned on. And if we go over to, let's say, frame 20, we may want to make her look this side. Okay, so we'll like her to look around somewhere like there, and we would also, you know, just lock that in. Let's actually do that with this one. So we're just gonna go in and do that. Okay, so let's do that one more time. And so we have our motion. So in this case, if you already have like an add-on like the animation layer, you can go in and use that to do this, and this is just super easy. You know, contrary to going in and start playing with the joints and then, you know, creating controls yourself, this can help you and save you so much time to get things up and running. So let's go ahead and match these layers all the way down. So for those who would also prefer to zero out the rig, you can actually proceed to do that. So if we switch back to our object, you can click on zero out rig, and it will simply zero out the rig and put it in T-pose, and from there you can start creating stuff. Now once you're done making your animations, doing what you would like to do, you can click on the export button to export this, or you can click on the bake and bake everything which you've done on the control rig into or onto the model that you are working with. Before we go, just in case you insist, say you insist and you really want to use the IK feature that exists with this rig, you can do a couple of things with them. Right now we've just selected the skeletal source, we're making this control rig, we're keeping IK FK, say okay to that, get the bugs, and we're good to go. So for some reason, if you would also want to switch back to FK after doing this IK, switch over to your pose mode, and then you can, you know, proceed to select individual parts and fix them. And this is going to be very nice. I mean, for those who would want to try this, you can proceed to select all of this, and it's going to force your characters to be in T-pose. But then this isn't why you insisted, so you wanted to use the IK. So for some reason, probably I'm getting it wrong, you know, probably I'm getting it all wrong, but then this is what you get. You select the control and then you pull all the way up, and you notice that we have our pole vector here working very well. But if we choose to rotate this, let's make sure that we're rotating within the local axis. Okay, so if we choose to rotate this, we start getting some very distorted movement. So you now have to spend so much time trying to fix these things rather than just, you know, editing your animation and working with it. So far so good. I have no idea if these bugs are personal to me or if it's something that everyone is going to be facing, but I just think that it makes sense to kind of skip that, move forward with the FK, and get some good result out of it. So very lovely stuff from the folks at Adobe. I'm quite excited about this one, and I would love to know what you guys think about it in the comment section. Now, for those who also want to get the animation layer, there's going to be a link in the description that will take you over to Tal, as he is the creator of this animation layer tool. You might also want to read up on the Substance 3D add-on and probably read up on the MUDGR add-on for Blender, and I'm going to put all these links in the description so you can do well to check this out. Tell me what you guys think about this ones in the comment section, and of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And if you're new here, it's going to be amazing for you to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or the next update. And until I see you guys again with a tutorial update, Free Friday, Tutorial Tuesday, tips and tricks, things like this. Peace.